Welcome back to the channel. I'm Brian. It's the Average Whiskey Drinker channel, and today we're going to be drinking Jack Daniel's Bottled in Bond, the original, here on the channel next. Welcome back. Like I said, today we're going to be drinking the Jack Daniel's Bottled in Bond. Now, I have this honestly, it's a really cool copper bullhead SLB drinks pour. These were $13 on their site. If you haven't checked out Kurt and Trent on SLB drinks on YouTube, you have to. They look like they have a really good time together in reviewing whiskeys and other things that they do. So check them out. But today, it's 100 proof Jack Daniel's Bottled in Bond. Well, I found out that this became available in the summer of 2018. You know, the Bonded is out, but I never was able to find this. I got this on Unicorn Auctions, shipped for $50. So a little bit above MSRP. I think MSRP when this came out was like around $40 or so. And it was limited to select duty-free shops and that around the world. Even though it's only sold at certain locations, this bottle was advertised as a permanent line extension of the Jack Daniel's family of brands. Unfortunately, it was the one and done, and for 5 years, we haven't seen it until last year when the Bonded came out. It was created to honor a commitment to quality and pay tribute to the Bottle and Bond Act of 1897. The bottle met all the parameters outlined in 1897, which started the whole whiskey had to be aged at least 4 years and bottled at 100 proof at one distillery during one single season. Got a little bit of the history, got a little bit of the bottle. Cool pour. Let's get into the nose. Now, this has like a slight cinnamon note. You do get the Jack Daniel's 80 proof around this. That nose, you get it right off the bat. But it also has almost like a light brown sugar and almond. Now, I will say this. I don't know if you can see it. It's super light. It's like Jack Daniel's 80 proof light. So, and the legs on it are super thin. They're not like long, like normal. If you notice that my voice is a little hoarse, I've just got over a pretty massive cold my daughter brought home. So that was, a joyful. Let's get into the taste. You definitely get the Jack Daniel's banana note. It has a little bit of spice, but it's very wispy, very faint. It's not very thick. It's a little more bumped up than I would say the 80 proof Old No. 7 is, but you definitely get like a little bit of a maple syrup. Like I said, that finish, it's almost like a peppery finish, not like a cracked pepper, like ground black pepper. And the hug just gently goes right down your neck, and it just kind of sits here and it gently blossoms out. It's not super like punchy and heavy. So let's get into a second taste. Yeah, that pepper is still there, but you get a little bit of that barrel char, that oakiness, and it finishes around with a light toffee. If you've ever had like a Heath bar, the toffee in the center, that's what that reminds me of. Now, when I got this, I opened it up, I had a pour out of it, and honestly, I didn't think it was that good. I thought it was too watery, too thin. So I went to where I have bunkered the Bonded, which is this, and I wanted to see how the Bottled in Bond came out 5 years ago compares to the Bonded, which came out last year. I have the glass sitting here. These have both been out for about 20 minutes. So let's see the difference between Bottled in Bond and Bonded. Again, Bonded has to have the same type of 4 years, 100%, single season act, Bottled in Bond act. So these are both bonded products. Let's get into the nose of the Bonded. See, that comes across a lot more punchy. You definitely get a lot more of the banana note, a little more of the oak note, and vanilla, like your typical, bourbon, even though a lot of people say Jack Daniel's isn't bourbon, it's whiskey. Look, the process it goes through and what it has to do, Bonded, pretty much damn near bourbon. So I'm going to call it bourbon. But yeah, even you can see, it's not viscous. It's a little thin. But to me, looking at the two, this one has a little more darker color, slight, just like a shade darker, not like a full, like the 10-year-old. Let's get into a taste. Oh yeah, there's a definite difference. This hangs more on the palate, coats the mouth a little bit more, has a little more punchy oak note. The toffee note is a little bit stronger, brown sugar stronger. And it just, I hate to say it, it has a better flavor. When I first got this, I really wasn't a fan. The triple mash, that I was a fan of. This one here, I think they had a great idea when they started this. And I think they finished it really well with this bonded, because that flavor is still hanging on right now, more than this one did. This one comes kind of there and gone. This one is hanging, and that black pepper note's now in the back of my throat. So definitely, I think they learned a lot of lessons from this bottle. 4 years later, popped it out with this bottle. So, like I said, if you see this, this is, believe it or not, in my state, this is a liter. Same as this one. These are both liters. I know a lot of people are seeing these. We can get them in Michigan. I think they're about $45. I've seen the 700s, which is the smaller version, for $45, and I kind of think that's a little bit of a cheat and ripoff. If you're going to get the liter for $45, that's great, but I think the 700 should be like 35-ish. So that's just my opinion. But I'm Brian. This is the Average Whiskey Drinker channel. Like I always say, find a bottle, open the bottle, enjoy the bottle, because good whiskey is always meant to be shared. Thanks for watching this short and sweet video. Talk with you guys soon.